Hey guys, so Fighting Arts of England has asked me a pretty good question. He's asking me why I've decided to learn an Asian style for unarmed defence rather than a European one. So, yeah, it is actually quite a good question. I'll leave a link to his channel down below. He comments regularly on my videos. He's one of the few people who does at the moment. And his HEMA style is very, very similar to the stuff which I'm learning at the moment. So check him out, links down in the description. As I've said, I actually do think it's a good question. I'm quite heavily involved in the HEMA community, so it would make sense for me to be learning classical pugilism or some form of old school wrestling or something like that. But it comes down to what's available in my area. And as far as I know, there are no classical pugilism clubs. Maybe there's one 30-40 miles away or something, and I will check the club out if such a place exists. But it's simply unrealistic for me to be going all of that way to train on a regular basis. So I'm just simply looking at what's available to me locally. I've checked out as many clubs as I can, and I really like the looks of the Wutan and Sandow classes. So that's what I've decided to do. The Sandow class particularly, in many ways, actually is quite similar to classical pugilism. Sure, there are some differences. There's high kicks and more spinning back kicks and those kind of things. But in many ways, it is very similar. So there's punches and kicks and takedowns. And I think you can do hammer fists and backhands. Well, at least I haven't been called out for it so far, so I assume it's allowed. So in some ways it is quite similar. The fundamentals are going to be very, very similar. Obviously footwork, power generation, seeing openings, knowing how to take hit, all of that stuff is going to be very, very similar. So if a classical pugilism club does open in my area, I should at least have a bit of a leg up when it comes to starting it. Now, as for why I decided to do striking rather than, primarily striking rather than grappling, my grappling's already somewhat decent. I've had about 8 years worth of judo on and off throughout my life. It seems to have stuck with me pretty well. My grappling hasn't let me down when it comes to HEMA. So, I'm 240 pounds. I lift regularly. It's very unlikely that I'm going to be out grappled on the street. It's far more likely that my striking is going to let me down. So that's why I wanted to focus primarily on striking. So it's working on a lot of my weak points. The clubs also have a big emphasis on cardio and flexibility, which are two areas which I'm really trying to improve on at the moment. And they train 4 times a week. So, and to top it off, I really like the guys I'm training with, and there's lots of opportunity for tournaments in the future and that kind of thing. And I want to be able to do a few more tournaments while I'm still young enough to actually do quite well. So those are some of the reasons I've decided to go for that club. And yeah, if a classical pugilism club does open in my area, absolutely, I'll be there in a flash. So thanks for watching, comment, rate, subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Bye.